Hey you guys, it's Kristina. I can't believe it. This week officially marks my 10-year Fully Raw birthday. That means that I have been fully raw for a decade this week. That means that I haven't eaten cooked food in 10 years. That means that I haven't eaten meat, dairy, processed foods, processed sugars, fast food, microwave meals, etc. since July 15th, 2005. Can you believe it? Sometimes 10 years feels like a long time, and other times it feels like a blink of an eye to me. I started eating fully raw when I was 18, and I'm now 28. I look at where I am after 10 years, and I'm so unbelievably grateful for the experiences, the friendships, and the life lessons that have brought me to where I am now. And I'm so thankful to all of you for being my support team and encouraging me along the way. And even to those who've given me growth opportunities, I thank you because you have also made me into a stronger, better person. It's not every day that I get to sit and have a personal conversation with all of you. Normally, I'm in my kitchen making recipes and having fun and sharing what I love to do or eat. And I just posted another epic anniversary video a few days ago where I jumped into compost, and that was a fun one. But today, I want to share with you something a little bit more personal, and I want to share with you my journey and having been fully raw for 10 years now. I say this casually, but actually I'm thinking that I can't believe it. I started eating fully raw, or what many call raw vegan, on July 15th, 2005, when a stranger in a grocery store named John Rose tapped me on the shoulder and started telling me about juicing and eating a raw foods diet. For those of you who haven't heard my story, I was hyperglycemic at the time, which is the onset of type 2 diabetes. This means I had high blood sugar and I was sick. I was 5'6", 5'7" at the time, and I weighed 87 pounds. It wasn't because I wasn't eating, but it was because I was so malnourished from everything that I was eating that my body wasn't absorbing anything. I had frequent blackout migraines, constipation, fatigue, dizziness, and weakness. My hair was falling out, everything about me felt just brittle, and to even walk was exhausting. And I almost didn't graduate high school because I had missed so much school. For someone graduating at the top of their class, this was not a good thing. I felt hopeless and depressed, and I remember telling my family all of the time that I felt like I was standing in front of a door with a lock and no key to open it. This time in my life at the age of 18, I will never forget, was one of the worst rock bottom moments of my life. To those of you who have ever hit rock bottom, you only hit those points a few times in your life, and you never forget that feeling. I'm half Lebanese and half Ecuadorian, and growing up, my diet consisted of very oily foods. My mother's Lebanese dishes were not only meat and dairy heavy, but drenched in olive oil 100% of the time. There are even some dishes where you eat raw meat and you would put hummus on top and even drizzle it with olive oil and salt. And my dad's dishes included chicken, beans, and rice every night, usually fried with extra olive oil. There was a salad on the table occasionally, but I didn't grow up eating fruits and vegetables like I do now, not in any stretch of the imagination. I loved eating the cultural dishes my family prepared, but little did I know they were making me sick. I looked different 10 years ago. I look at old pictures of myself and remember how I was feeling in those photos. I secluded myself and I shut myself off from the outside world for a period of time because it was really hard for me to relate to people. I was genuinely unhappy. I've transformed myself during the past 10 years. There's no doubt about that. I've really worked on changing everything in my life that wasn't bringing me joy. And this has not been easy. Everything that I thought that I wanted to do changed. Many friends in my life have left me. My aspirations changed, and more. I went from being in college on a full ride for art and music and working as a calculus tutor nearly 40 hours a week to starting an organic fruits and vegetable co-op out of my garage that in an 8-year time period has turned into the largest organic produce cooperative in the United States. I now own and run 3 companies, all of which have grown from my passion to share health and the message of eating more raw foods. What was it like in the beginning? I felt like I was learning how to unlearn everything that I had learned in my entire life, and my eyes were being opened to a whole new lifestyle. Everything that I thought that I knew about health and food, or what many doctors had told me, wasn't true. It took me a long time to process everything that I was reading and hearing and studying, and it took me even longer to implement these changes. It took me about a year and a half to learn how to prepare food that actually tasted good, to learn enough facts to communicate to others in casual conversation what I was doing, and it even took me this long to get rid of my hyperglycemia completely. My first few years eating fully raw was a transition period in my life. Sometimes you have to be broken down so that you can learn to build yourself back up, and that is what this time period was like for me on many different levels and aspects in my life. It was a healing period. Little glimpses of me first experiencing health for the first time in years. I had my first taste of happiness at this time, and it felt like drinking water in the middle of a hot desert. One experience that I really do want to share, and that I will make a separate video for very soon for you, is how I had my wisdom teeth taken out, all 4 of them, with no medication or anesthesia. So that's an interesting video. Get ready for that one because it's coming. One of my most frequently asked questions is, what were some of my biggest challenges when I first went fully raw? What was the most difficult? How did I overcome cravings? For me, starting as an 18-year-old, my biggest 3 challenges were, I'd have to say, number 1, firstly, it was most definitely dealing with the acceptance from family and dealing with all of the pressures associated with our cultures. This way of eating was so different from what my family eats that some of my family members literally thought I was abandoning our culture. My mom and I went through a very emotional period where communication only came in the form of crying and yelling and leaving the room. My siblings, they always supported me regardless of whether they thought I was going through a growth period of wacko sorts or whatever. My father, he is amazing. He stood by me even when he didn't understand. And we've all grown so much closer because of this, and we communicate now better than ever. And now it's so amazing for me to say that all of them eat at least 2 to 3 fully raw meals a day. My family, I love you. You're amazing. My second largest challenge in the beginning was eating raw vegan in college. Not drinking, being the oddball on campus who wasn't on the meal plan or who wouldn't eat what anyone else was eating. Did I experience cravings? Yes, but then I thought about how I felt sick before, and I was immediately repulsed by the thought of going back down that path that I was in. In school, I was known as the girl who would walk around campus eating bananas and who was in the art and the music room by herself all the time. I had to learn how to reach out and share with other students. I had to learn how to share what I was doing rather than keeping it to myself, because I learned within a 2 to 3 year time period that if I share what I'm doing and if I get excited about it, then others are most likely going to have fun with me and do it with me. When you keep it to yourself, people have reason to be suspicious, so get excited about it and give them reason to share it with you. I'll never forget this one story of me walking down the hallway in the girls' dorm building, and there was a group of about 18 girls in a room watching movies, painting their nails, and talking, and I walked by the door and I heard one of them say, "That's her, the weird one." And I remember walking by and thinking, oh no, is that me? Is that what they think? Am I the weird one? I had the choice then and there to accept what they were saying, but instead, for some reason, that day I had the impulse to not let that happen. So I walked over to the door and I walked into the room, not knowing these girls, and I introduced myself. I told them I had too many bananas in my room, and I asked if any of them wanted a smoothie, and that I would be making some smoothies later on. After that, I sat down and I talked with them, and everybody came to my room and we made smoothies together. And it was funny because I learned how to make friends and introduce people to this lifestyle in my own way rather than push them away because I thought I was weird. After that, every girl in the hallway would always ask me for fruit or come to me for support, and it became kind of cool. And thirdly, one of the other huge challenges that I faced in the beginning was money. No one likes talking about money because it can be a sensitive subject for many people, but this was one of my main challenges when I was in college. Eating raw on a budget of about $60 to $80 a week was super challenging, but I made it work buying cases of bananas and pears and lettuce. And I remember I stored these under my bed of my 8x8 foot dorm room with no kitchen and no sink, and I made it work somehow. And this is what inspired me to start my organic produce co-op so that I could feed myself and my family. I have several videos on how to eat fully raw on a budget, so if you need advice in this arena, please go check those videos out. Although these challenges were crazy and emotional and hard at the time, I was loving this lifestyle, like truly just loving this lifestyle. For the first time in my life, I had felt alive, like breathing alive, feeling alive, just every cell in my body alive. I was regaining health and I was feeling so good that the only way to move for me was forward. And I did it regardless of what anyone else said or thought. It had meant, and it still means that much to me. For the first time in my life, I was feeling good in my skin. Since this time, 10 years ago, I've learned so much about being in the public eye and standing with light and love no matter what. I've learned to just be myself because that is what makes me feel free and happy. And I'm here in front of you because I'm doing what I love every day, fulfilling what I believe is my purpose. My favorite video to this day is my poem that I shared recently, and I'll include that in the link of the description of this video so you can go watch it again if you want. Creating recipes has always been easy and exciting for me, and this is what I love to share. I grew up as an artist, so for me, playing with this type of color was simply another artistic palette for me to be creative with. Many of the inspirations of my dishes come from my family and what I've tried to make for them, and also for them to enjoy so that they would approach and adopt this lifestyle as well with me. And some of my inspirations come while I'm running and meditating, and also since being sick, I've become athletic. Crazy, right? I love running and boxing. I'm obsessed with these right now. I do them every day. I love being outside in nature and in the sunshine, and it feels amazing to be healthy and to be able to push my body to new limits. I've traveled all over the world, survived a black widow spider bite, grown boobs, and created several new relationships. And most importantly, I've learned to love myself infinitely. I have done this, and I mean, I have lived this for 10 years, and I'm not going anywhere. I will continue to share my passion for health. Every day, I am running my 3 companies, Raw Fully Organic, FullyRaw Juice, and FullyRaw. All of these work together to help spread this message, the Fully Raw message, the raw food message, the vegan message, the message of health, self-love, inspiration. And my goal is to just feed people, and whether that be food or information, recipes, inspiration, whatever it is, all of that is to help you feel your best, love yourself, and become the best you that you can be. My companies are expanding and moving not only into different states, but I've built a community with all of you all over the world. How cool is that? On January 5th, my first published book will be released everywhere, and we actually just put it up on Amazon. It's called the FullyRaw Diet, and I am so excited to share this with you and for you to share the next chapter in my life with me, because not even I know what that will be like. Lastly, people ask me if they can do this. Is it really hard? My answer is yes, you can do this. Start by eating one FullyRaw vegan meal a day and work your way up from there. Eat my recipes daily. I have hundreds of them for free on this YouTube channel for you and on my website at FullyRaw.com. Try it, share it, breathe it, love it. I have faith in you, because if I can do it, so can you. This lifestyle is far more accepted now than it was 10 years ago. And it's easier to find support. There are more raw vegan restaurants, and there's better access to more fruits and vegetables everywhere you go. Help grow the movement. Seize the opportunity. Take charge of your health. Take charge of your life. It's about making this world and yourself healthier. Would I have done anything differently? I don't think I can go back in time like that. There were some really painful situations and experiences and losses that I've gone through the past 10 years, but I wouldn't take them back, not in a heartbeat, because they've helped me grow into the woman that I am now. I believe that one of my greatest strengths is transforming pain into greatness. I wouldn't have learned how to do this had I not experienced some truly challenging situations. I am a totally transformed Kristina than I used to be. I'm still me, just way new and improved. I am happy. I am worthy. I am light. I am love. All right, you guys. I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for sharing the past 10 years with me, for being an amazing support. You guys have been with me almost every step of the way, especially the past few years. So I want to thank you. If you have appreciated this video, and if you have liked it, and if you are excited about trying one FullyRaw meal a day or giving this lifestyle a try, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you want to, go ahead and comment below. Ask me questions about the lifestyle. Let's get a conversation going. I may use some of these questions to make a future video for you. If you guys want to follow me daily, see what I'm doing, see what I'm eating, see where I'm running, you can also find me on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and Twitter, all at FullyRawKristina. And don't forget, I'm on Snapchat now at FullyRaw, and I'm snapping every day. All right, you guys. I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of the day, and I send you all my hugs and my love, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye.